Hello, and we are live. I'm going to say hi to a couple folks that are already in the chat, and then I'm going to bring up our guests for the day and we'll get started. So, first up, I see we have Dizzy Dragon. They think this sounds really cool. I thought so as well, which is why I'm very excited that we have our two guests today. Jerry J, hello. Tom, I'm doing well. I'm excited to spend some time with a oldish friend and a newish friend. So that'll be great. And Donald is here as well. Awesome. Awesome. All right. So what we are doing today, if you read the description, you probably know. But if you're just looking at the title, Haunted Chat, what is that? So we have a newish chilihead that has been just knocking it out of the park, doing so many challenges. She and her husband have a YouTube channel called Never Better Club, so definitely follow them. And she happens to live in a haunted historic home, which I think is so cool. So very excited to bring up our first guest, Alexandria.
Hi.
Hello. How are you doing today?
Great. How are you doing, Katie?
Excellent, excellent. Thank you so much for joining us. I was so excited to learn about this because I had seen your videos, I'd seen pictures, and like people can see behind you, there are some very ornate candelabras. And I kept wondering, like, where does this woman live? But now it's starting to make a little bit of sense. But we're all going to learn about that today. And then we have the Reaper teacher with us today, Annie Boyer, and she's going to talk about the Queen Mary, which is a very famous haunted ship.
Hey, what's up?
We got some more chats. Fuel Me Once is here. One of my absolute best friends, Main Event Pong, is here. He says, Haunted Chat, I call BS. It's April Fool's. It is April Fool's, but this is not a joke. We are going to...
I'm the cynical one in the bunch, though. But we are actually conducting a haunted chat. No fools.
So to elaborate on that, and Alexandria, this is the first time we're meeting virtually, but I do believe in ghosts. I desperately want to believe that they exist. My mom has personal experiences with ghosts. I don't. I hope someday, maybe. But Annie does not believe in them. So
I think this is wonderful because I am right in the middle of both of you. And the reason is I was just like Annie, I think, for the majority of my life because I had never submerged myself into a home or an environment that had that type of energy. And until I moved into this house that I now live in, my forever home, I had never experienced anything supernatural or paranormal, at least not profoundly. So this is the reason why I now do, at least to a degree, believe in ghosts or spirits. But I'm not like, I don't have experience with any like dark energy or scary things here, but there is definitely moving energy and all sorts of different types of things that are unexplainable that happen in this house on a at least a monthly basis, I'd say.
That's so awesome. So for our audience, because I studied a lot about ghosts as a kid, because again, like I said, I desperately want that kind of experience. So if you all watching don't know, ghosts are different than poltergeists. So ghosts are not malevolent in any way, and poltergeists typically are tied to a living person. So those are those energy forces that could potentially harm you, but it's usually coming from energy from a living person that is deeply upset. So yeah, just wanted to clarify that. But with that, tell us about your home.
So I guess I'll try to give you a brief, overview, but my home is the historic Herzog Mansion, and it is the family home originally of William H. Herzog, William W. Herzog, sorry about that. And he is was a local winemaker, He owns Stonehill Winery in the area that I live. And him and his family moved from, I believe he immigrated from Germany, and his family and him moved here to Herman. And they built this house that I now live in, which has seen many families and different use cases over the last 130 years. So it's changed hands many times. But it was originally a family home, and now we are restoring it back from the bottom up to be a family home again. And we intend on it staying that way forever. My house is currently not on the list of National Historically Registered Places, but I have a degree in art history, and I'm a fair writer, and it's one of my life goals to have this house registered so that I can preserve it forever.
That's very cool.
It's so cool. I mean, even if your house wasn't haunted, I love historic homes, and I so appreciate that you're putting in that love and energy to restore it. I have a lot of respect for that work.
Thank you. Yeah,
I enjoy historic places and creepy places. I'm not saying that I don't enjoy that.
Yeah,
that's a very awesome, unique, like you live in an awesome, like totally unique abode, you know?
Yeah, my house is very unique in the sense that I think a lot of people who come through, I live in a tourist town. I live in a German town that sees about, I really don't even know anymore because we get so big every year for Oktoberfest. We see hundreds of thousands of people come through. It's kind of like living in Disneyland of the month September through December here. So
yeah, that's crazy.
It is crazy, but people see my house and they're absolutely amazed, at least from the exterior. And it's a German Gothic Renaissance style home. The German Gothic nature makes it really unique. There's probably only 5 or so, and that's just guessing, homes left in America that look anything like my house from the outside. Some very unique aspects to it. That's why I want to preserve it, because it's a piece of American history, belonging to Stonehill Winery, which is a really, like I said, prominent winemaker in our area. But yeah, I'm thinking of anything else I can tell you right off the bat. As far as like paranormal stuff that goes on here, there's a lot of folklore in town. We're really close to an elementary school, and all the children coming and going from school for the last 100 years talk about my house as the haunted house in town. And
that's fun.
Yeah, Halloween's really big here. Like I tell people all the time, they say, "Oh, I love Halloween." I'm like, "Oh, you think you love Halloween, but do you live in a haunted house? And do you have resident ghosts?" And it's crazy. My life is like Halloween living in this house, I swear. But we do it really big up at Halloween. And my husband, he when I first met him, he was part of a concert visual effects company that they did 3D projections for big artists on stage. And we do 3D projections all over our house and stuff.
So really fascinating, though. I love that. Like, I love the theatrics, and I love celebrating Halloween.
I do too. I love theatrical holidays. Halloween and Christmas are my favorites.
Nice. Well, I love Christmas too. I'm Christian, but I also enjoy Halloween. I like dressing up. I'm like totally into it.
Me too.
I decorate the front of my house, but I don't have 3D projections.
Yeah.
My best friend does in her window.
Yeah.
So you have like, I don't know, you have the whole haunted theme going on, haunted Halloween theme going on there. It is fascinating to me.
This is just my dining room. And then this is where we do all of our Never Better Club, challenge videos. It's a kind of convenient place to do them because we have, the super young children. I have 3 children, 3 and under, and I, keep them out of here, and we can keep our production lights up and all that, which I don't even have on right now. I just thought this was better mood lighting. But it's like one of the we have a formal area of the house and an informal area that's more for living, and this is attached to the formal ladies' parlor and the gentleman's smoking room and the library and the
gentleman's smoking room.
Yeah.
Oh,
we have
that's
that.
so neat.
Yeah, historically speaking, that's what they were. There was a ladies' and a men's parlor, and then they joined for dinner.
We can switch them and make one into the Fierce Fiery Queen smoking room, like the gentleman's one, and then we can have the ladies' smoking room. I don't know, just because.
Well, one day I want to do a video in there. I think I will. We just we're restoring everything, so it's a process.
Of course it is. I can't imagine what kind of an undertaking that is.
Yeah, it's a lifelong journey.
So let me ask, is the hope then, because you want it registered as an official historic home, is your hope then to have people tour it?
Yeah,
Yeah, I was wondering that.
I think so. Maybe we have a lot of local tours who ask us to open up to them, and it's difficult, like I said, with the young children right now. But that's really Michael and I's goal for the future. Is we want to be on the Christmas tours and maybe some like we're on the ghost tour. I go out and speak for the ghost tour in town when it comes through. That's heavy in Oktoberfest time, like the fall months, essentially, when it's not snowing or anything like that. But I go out in the front yard and I tell all the stories that I've personally experienced in the house, and then the folklore that's, and then the actual stories. There are very terrifying stories from this house that are part of newspaper articles in town, like murders and things that have happened here, which is horrible. But there's a lot of history to my house, and I'm pretty. Michael and I both are really good at like taking all that in. We have a website where we document everything, and then we do our best to relay the correct information, because there's a lot of like rumors and stuff about our house too that are incorrect. So, but I think
because it's the haunted house in the town.
Right, yes. But I do think we'll open it up for maybe tours one day. We've talked about maybe doing like a small wedding venue thing here or something, but really our real goal is not to monetize the house. We just really want to live in it and love this house and treat it like it deserves to be treated instead of abusing it. It used to be a bed and breakfast. I think maybe 60 years ago they had it sectioned off, and they were trying to do this kind of like hostel style living thing here. It's seen some rough days, and it really just needed and does need the love that we're pouring into it. So as far as future goals for the home, short term is just living here and loving the house, and maybe when we don't have young children, we'll do something with it.
Yeah, Miguel in chat said that he thinks his uncle had visited your home when it was a B&B. So
no way.
How cool.
No, I bet he did. It used to be called
Hi, Miguel.
Goodness, the Birk's Guest House.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so if that's it, Miguel, then that's hit the nail on the head.
That's fascinating. So something I forgot to mention to our viewers is that to make this extra hot or extra haunted, we all have the Pocky haunted ghost pepper chips.
Yay!
So we'll be eating that.
I'm gonna open mine upside down because then they'll be spicier. But
that's your theory. I saw that the other day.
You think they'll be spicier? That's fun. Like the powder gets all over.
Yeah, it's at the bottom. So we're going to be crunching. So if you don't like crunching noises, this is not the video for you.
Oh, yeah.
This is not the video for you, because this is like, I don't know, we're chilling.
Hey, you guys, I've had these before, but it has been probably 6 years. And I remember when I ate them, I thought they were so hot. So I'm really excited now because I want to, see if they're actually spicy still.
I can't wait to see your reaction. It's going to be so different.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't mean to say extra hot. I was trying to say extra haunted. We were looking for some sort of ghost pepper challenge that we could do together, but this is actually a really great compromise because Alexandria, if you don't know, is training right now for the San Diego pepper eating contest. So did you practice today? Were you eating pods earlier?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Listen,
look,
I just put Michael just posted the video. Oh my gosh. These are red Scotch bonnets. I love Scotch bonnets. These peppers, I wish I could send you guys one to try right now. The most floral.
I'd be like,
I'm telling you, they're the most floral, they're the hottest. They're so horrible. I mean, they're wicked peppers. These peppers are. Let me pull one up here. They are so
like, I love them. They're horrible. They're wicked. Explain.
No, I mean I didn't love it. I don't know if I made that clear. Like, it was a rough video. I think I don't remember how many I ate. Eight or 9 of them, but it was. I didn't get cramps or anything. I just couldn't stand the floral anymore. I was like,
I don't like floral peppers either.
It would taste like cologne. It was rough. I got so many of these. I got to eat them all, but I'm going to probably try to eat them with food to mask the taste a little bit of the perfume.
That's smart. That's smart. Yeah, that's where I struggle with the pepper eating contest is the flavor.
Mm-hmm.
At some point, it's just too much, and I feel like gaggy.
I've got to get out of my head. Like that's what I got to get good at, and I'm working on it. So that's one of my things I work on daily.
Well, I think you're gonna do great. I'm so excited to watch. I'm sure they're gonna live stream it. So, and Annie, you'll be there, right?
Thank you.
Oh, I'm definitely gonna be there. The West Coast hot sauce experience. It's like my home expo, you know.
Good.
Yeah, I will be there.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see you in person.
These are so good.
I know. I really like these chips.
Okay,
I did a video.
how hot are they to you now?
These are like Doritos, but they actually have like a hint of some spice to them, which is fun because I like Doritos, but I can't eat them anymore because they taste bland to me.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, like the fire.
I don't like hot Cheetos, but for some reason I like the only like hot Cheeto or like that type of like spice chips I like are the Cool Ranch Dorito mix one, and I don't know, those aren't bland to me, which I guess I'm grateful for that. I just like the taste of them. But these, I don't know. I don't even know if I really detect heat.
I don't either. But it kind of tastes like black pepper or something. But they're yummy. They're good.
I can detect heat, but I have not really been doing challenges lately. So,
well, I did 3 challenges earlier, so I mean, that's probably part of it right now.
Yeah, you both are dead inside right now. So,
we still have fierce, fiery hearts.
Yes, true. Miguel is going to be at the Hot Sauce Expo as well. And Nuff says you should try the Doritos from Inferno Candy Company. Those are really good. No, I recommend that.
Thank you. I have not tried that, and I have not gotten into Inferno Candy Company's challenges yet, but Michael and I have a roster of things that we want to, do videos regarding, and I think that's one of them, the Doritos, and then we want to do, I think they have some cheese balls too. Michael and I love the 6 hot balls.
I have their bug one. But it's a half pound of chocolate, and I don't know if I can eat that much chocolate. Like, of course, the bugs are no, like,
I know
biggie for me.
About. Yeah, I saw that, and I'm intimidated by it because I've never eaten insects before, but I'm willing to try anything, so
I'll bring them in June.
Okay, let's do it. I'll at least take
I can't wait to see you too, Miguel. This is gonna be so fun. Oh my gosh, I can't even. It's gonna be so fun. We had so much fun last year, didn't we, Katie?
It was awesome. But you may or may not have noticed this. I was so nervous to meet everyone. And then I was so nervous because that was my first potty eating contest.
Oh my gosh, that's gonna be me.
Yeah, I'm what you would call a nervous peer. So I had to go to the porta potties like 10 times before the contest started.
I didn't notice.
I'm like you, Katie. I run nervous. Like I'm like kind of nervous. I'm not nervous right now, but I get fidgety and I'm just like that too. So
I wasn't checking how many times you went to the porta potties.
You didn't keep a tally?
Nah, next time I will though.
Okay, fair enough.
I'll be like having weird checklists in my like notebook in my purse.
One of the other female eaters in the Nathan hot dog contest that I do, she's also a nervous peer. And this one year we realized like we kept going to the bathroom at the same time before the contest.
How cute. You are synchronized nervous peer.
It was a bonding moment.
Hey, Katie, what's next up on your roster? What do you have any not challenges, but any competitions you're looking at for the future?
Yeah, that's a good question. So the past few years I've gone to Florida for the corn on the cob eating contest. It's my least favorite. I do horribly. You're eating corn on the cob for 12 minutes. It hurts my jaw so bad. But I didn't do it this year. It looks like they don't have what we call qualifiers up for Major League Eating this year. So my guess, and this is very top secret, everyone watching, but my guess is they will probably invite back the top 10 women and men, we won't have to qualify, and they'll probably have like 2 qualifiers for new eaters. That's what they did last year. So
Cool. That's great.
yeah, so they'll
I
probably
just-
do
I love
that.
that you do that.
It's so fun.
And Annie, what about you? What do you do? I don't know you well, so but do you do any competitions, or are you you know?
I just bounce around being Annie.
Okay. That's great.
That's the best explanation. Like I bounce around and I'm the Reaper teacher.
Cool.
I'm an actual teacher, so like I'm busy.
Oh yes, I bet you are.
Like
bless
I
you.
teach
You
students
must
with moderate to severe disabilities in high school.
Wow.
So like that is it's it's not an easy job. And it takes a lot of my time, and I bring work home, and sometimes my plans get messed up because I have paperwork or whatever. I spend a whole lot of my paycheck on my students. I don't mind. I love them. They're adorable.
I was gonna say you have a lot of patience, but then I really, you really truly genuinely do. Yeah, because I think teachers in general have to, but you have a really special job, so you're amazing.
I just love the population I work with. I don't know. Someone described me as tolerant of people, and I am to a point until you like cross a line, but I suppose that doesn't apply to my students. They're my students.
Yeah.
But I also have a really, really awesome sense of humor.
Yeah, you do.
You're
So other things that people might like be offended by are like, I just think it's funny.
I do too.
They're just being cute, like.
Yeah.
And I'm really good at like developing relationships with my students. So I usually have really good rapport with them, and it does make it easier.
That's great. It's really wonderful.
So, Alexandria, we talked about like the overview of your home, and you mentioned you've had personal experiences. You have a website to document them.
Yeah.
And of course, there's tales around town. But starting off, tell us like who are the ghosts in your house?
Sure. So, and it's funny because one of them in particular, I have zero experience with, and the one person on this earth who did not and refused to ever say he believed in ghosts is Michael, my husband, and he just
Annie.
Oh, oopsie. Oh no.
I'll pop her back up when she comes back.
Okay. Well, Michael always said he's like he doesn't believe in like you call it like hocus pocus, like magic stuff or ghosts or anything like that. He just doesn't. Like you can't get him to believe. He's very binary. He believes in black and white things. Michael does.
He has no gray areas.
Yes, no gray areas, and I'm very gray area Alexandria. Like that's why we complement each other so well, because I've made him more that way.
That makes sense.
He did that in his life. Yeah, and he's made me more black and white. But anyways,
so you guys balance each other out. Aww.
Yeah, I'm going off track though. So he didn't believe in ghosts. The first night we stayed here, Michael had a like a looming black figure kind of hovering over him and the bed that he was staying in. And I have never seen him so terrified. And this is like, it sounds like I'm making this up because it's crazy. And I just never could. It's something we talk about all the time. Like, and then it's happened to him like, I think 3 times maybe total since we lived here for 3 years. But we've come to learn who this figure is. And it's my belief that it is Mr. Herzog's brother. And I gotta remember his name. I forget it.
Why do you think that?
Well, I'll tell you because
while you're talking, I'll look it up.
So William Herzog lived here, and his brother, I think, stayed here occasionally. And his brother was madly in love with his wife, with William Herzog's wife. Her name's Aurelia, and he shot himself in the head in our master bedroom. And he took his own life because he just didn't want to live anymore because he couldn't have her. That's so the rumor goes, and it's in our local newspaper. Like if you go back in history, our advertiser Courier, which is the name of our newspaper, talks about it.
So it happened.
Yes, that all did. It is fact that all that happened, and we know where.
Okay, I can detect heat now, so there's heat.
Good.
Yeah, there's a little spice. I mean, I'm not deterred from eating that. Anyways. So yeah, that's crazy to me. I think about that all the time, and that is the main like person figure that I think that we've experienced in this house. We also have had a lot of experiences with like paranormal activity of things or people that we cannot identify. Like I don't know who it is. That maybe I don't know enough about certain time periods in the house, but we've had times where my son, his name's Mars, he, excuse me, he'll like go to a corner of the room or like go to a certain area of the house, and he's adamant. He's like, Mom, there's a ghost. Or he'll say, Mama, ghost. Boo, ghost. Or he'll say, spooky, ghost.
Ooh.
And he'll like be pointing up at a corner or at the corner of a wall, and he'll say, too scary, don't go. And like he'll start like telling me like, don't go in there. And he'll tell me how scared he is of that room. And it'll go on for a while, and then it just nothing. Like we haven't had that happen in months, I'd say, but that it does happen occasionally, you know, and they say children are more susceptible to picking up on energy like that. And then that's something that happens occasionally. And then the main, this really cracks me up, but it's true. The main spirit energy that I have seen in the house and that Michael has seen most frequently is a cat. And we all know it's a cat, and I do not know how. It's low to the ground, and it looks like a cat, and it's slinky, and you see it. You'll see it go across a room or out of the corner of your eye, and we always like we know exactly what we're talking about. I know that he's seeing the same thing as what I'm trying to say, because he will describe it, and I'm like, that's exactly what I have seen in the past. And it's usually in our ladies' parlor over here, or sometimes in this dining room at night. And occasionally you'll see it like go up the stairs. And we do have a cat, and we know it's not him because it happens like when he's with me. So it's kind of bizarre how it occurs. So there's the cat energy. There's the brother of William Herzog energy that we've experienced before. And to my recollection right now, I'm pretty sure that's like it. I can't think off the top of my head of anything else that we've experienced. But here's even further. I have my housekeeper, whom also happens to be
just showing everybody your home.
Oh yeah, there she is.
I was waiting for you to do that.
Yeah.
My housekeeper is a sensitive, and she reads like cards and energy and all that stuff. And she has long-standing history with the house. She kind of came like she didn't come with the house, but I was referred her, and she's taken care of the house in the past. And she comes here just once a week to help me out, so I don't lose my mind. But she picks up on certain energies and things in the house, and she kind of like confirms exactly what we've seen too. And when we go out of town, she stays here and watches over our house. So she's like she's our spirit lady. So
maybe she brings the ghost in.
She what?
I said maybe she brings the ghosts in.
Yeah,
just kidding.
Maybe, I don't know. So,
I'm like, she sounds creepy.
She's wonderful. Her name's Diane. She's kind of crazy like I am. She's I think
creepy isn't necessarily bad though when I say it.
Well, she's not.
I think you just got to get to know me better. I am quite bizarre.
Well, I am too. I think we all are. Anyone who does this spicy eating stuff is probably a little bizarre.
We're unique.
Yes, that's right.
I did. We had a work conference this week, and we did an exercise where we're identifying our core values. And I've done that before, but one of the ones that came up for me this time was uniqueness. I have a strong need to be.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
Yeah.
There's nothing basic about you. Nothing.
Well, there's a little bit. I mean, I like pumpkin spice.
Oh, me too.
My favorite movie
that I watch because you like something. Just because someone's made some kind of like random definition doesn't make it true. Like I like pumpkin spice.
But that's like the popular understanding. And I have two movies that I watch every year. So around Halloween, I have to watch Practical Magic. And around Christmas, I have to watch Love Actually. So it's a little bit basic.
I just
I
think
don't
you're
think
cute and
so.
traditional.
Those are just habits or traditions.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's what I think too. Like tradition
Yeah.
doesn't like you. Like there's nothing basic about you. Like seriously.
Yeah, you're.
I really
you're
don't think so.
competitive eater. It's
Well,
You-
that's probably why I have to do weird things, because otherwise I wouldn't be unique.
Oh, honey.
We have a comment in chat about upkeep and expense. So I'm not going to ask you for like dollar amounts, but is it
No, that's
expensive
fine.
to renovate?
Did you say, do we have to renovate?
No,
Is it
I know you are.
expensive?
Oh
Yeah.
yes. No,
Yeah.
it's. So let me tell. I try to keep all these things short because I could literally talk to you guys for hours about this. But
That's what we're
so
doing.
zooming back a little bit, this year we have a slate roof on the house, right? The slate roof was very ornate. It was hand cut, colored tiles, and it was the original slate roof on the house. Well, guess what? The idiots who owned the house before I did, who ran it as a bed and breakfast, decided it was a good idea to paint it so it looked nice and fresh. Well, when you paint slate, it can't breathe. It's like brick. Whoever paints brick, no, you do the same mess up. It starts cracking.
Yeah.
Slate crumbles, and it's sitting there baking in the sun. It can't breathe. And so this beautiful roof that should have probably lasted us another 50 years, which is the original roof on the house, we had to replace it. And Michael, especially, Michael and I, but Michael is a hardcore preservation, like he's really serious about it. He cares a lot about this house, but he said, we're going back with original everything. So we had to have the entire roof color match, cut, imported from Vermont, all the slate, and then hand installed. And that took about 6 months this past year. So I'll let you imagine, the cost involved with doing something of that magnitude. It was terrifying, and I'm glad it's over, and it's all done, and it looks gorgeous now. I should have given you a more recent photo. Actually, the one you had was older. But
I'm so sorry. That
as
went
far
down
as
wrong
like
too.
general,
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
As far as like general upkeep and maintenance, Michael and I do a lot of it ourselves. We own since we moved here, we've purchased like a full-on incredible tool collection, and we do a lot of plaster repair. We do a lot of like trim remold. We have molds made. People like what do you call it? Millwork. We have millwork companies we work with, and they'll reproduce trim for different areas of the house to the historic perfect shape. And they hand cut the knives is what they hand make the knives for it, and it cuts the trim. But and then we install them, and we do the carpentry, and Michael installs the floors. Michael does electrical work. Michael does plumbing. Michael does he does everything really.
Wow. Well,
really
that's
amazing.
nice to have, but
yeah, he's incredible, and I'm the color selector and the historic furniture
researcher.
So I have to there's things that are left in this house that are English in style, and we have to do something with them because everything needs to go back to German Gothic, and it's a lifelong project. It's something that we work at every day. And we've dedicated our lives to it. We'll be working on it in probably still 20 years. Maybe we'll be.
It reminds me a little bit of The Notebook.
Does it?
Yeah.
I asked that because I'm so bad with movies, and I haven't watched that movie in like 10 years. So that's really sweet. I know it's a romantic movie. So I hope that answers the question. It is very costly to own this home. But I think that if you really love your house and you care about what is being done to it restoration-wise, and you have the ability to learn, then you can save an old home, and you can do a lot of it yourself and prevent the home from going into disrepair. So it's just about time and resource allocation. And sometimes, Michael and I, our prior life, which was the life before we had kids and before we moved to this house, like, we did extravagant things, and we just forego sometimes those things for our home, because I think that when I die, this will mean something. And the material possessions that you can buy with money. They just are left here on this earth. So I love the fact that I can pour my heart and soul into this house and save it.
Yeah, you're saving it for future generations to get to enjoy.
Yeah.
Right.
Like you're restoring it to its former glory so that it
Mhm.
will be there for decades to come.
Yep, that's the goal. It's a lot of fun too. It is a lot of fun.
That
Yeah,
would be.
so it's your hobby. Like hobbies are expensive.
Yeah,
Your hobby
it
is
is.
restoring your house.
Yeah, and eating hot stuff.
So
Yeah,
Annie,
of course. And eating hot stuff.
Yeah.
I do believe we all three have that hobby in common.
Yeah.
just a little
I
bit.
know.
Just a little bit.
Annie, I had some questions for you because you had wanted to talk about the Queen Mary. So I'm guessing you've toured the ship, correct?
The Queen Mary's docked in Long Beach.
Mm-hmm.
And I've stayed on the ship overnight a couple times. I've taken my students on the ship and toured it. I toured it when Disney had it leased for a while, and they had like a little haunted tour like set up. And I've gone to the Queen Mary for like Halloween, like sort of like Halloween maze and like concert events. So I've been to the Queen Mary quite frequently, like a lot, several times. And what's your next question? I'm like, I can keep talking.
Yeah, so we started off this stream talking about the fact that you're like probably the most skeptical out of the three of us. So you've stayed overnight, you've gone many times. Tell us about your experiences on that ship.
Like, okay, my experience is like, okay, the only thing like haunted that ever happened was me and my friend were staying in a stateroom and the phone rang and no one was there twice. Aside from that, like I was like wandering around the ship all night and they had like very little security. So I was like, I don't know, me and this random person like just were running around the ship because my friend went to sleep like I don't know, 3 a.m, and we were in the ballroom dancing and we like went to the boiler room and like could have got lost forever because it's pretty big cruise ship, you know, not like the ones now, but still. The one on the right, the one on the very right is an actual cruise ship. The Queen Mary is actually the one with the 3 smokestacks.
Gotcha.
Okay.
This one.
So it's actually made, yeah, that one. So it's actually designed by the same company as the Titanic, but it was built.
Yes. It looks like
Yeah,
it.
so I adore this ship though. Like I adore the charm of this ship. I love like being on it. I love the nostalgia. I love the way it feels inside. Like I said, I like creepy places, but it's like I don't know, it's a creepy like warm place. So like I really enjoyed running around on it, and it's rumored like this is the most haunted ship in the world. Like I understand there's been like documented 149 deaths or so on it. There's been people smashed in the boiler room, I think too. I was in the boiler room though, knowing that it was like supposedly haunted, like looking for something like at a concert and like nothing, you know, like if any spirits were gonna bother me, they would have bothered me one of those times. But maybe my skepticism keeps them away, so I should keep it that way, right?
So let me ask you then, as a skeptic, when you had the phone calls and nobody was on the other end of the line, how do you rationalize that in your head?
Like, who knows? The front desk could do it to like trip people out.
They might. They might.
Phone call, girl.
Like phone, phones like malfunction all the time. But you know, I'm not saying like that I don't believe like people have souls or whatever. I just don't think that there's like ghosts that just stick around. Like I still have some like I don't know what you would call it. Like I believe people have spirits. I'm a Christian girl, so I do believe there's some like there's bad things that are out there, you know?
Yeah.
So but I don't know, I don't believe in ghosts. And but still I won't mess with a Ouija board, not because I think it's a ghost. I think it's just like a dark thing I don't want to touch. I don't want to.
I so agree. I agree with everything you're saying, but like, because I don't even, it's so funny. People say, oh, I don't believe in ghosts. I do believe in ghosts. I think society has like tried to create this picture of what a ghost is for us. And I just think of it more for myself, like from my own experiences, as energy. Like, I think about my house. I'm like, this house, just like the ship, just like the Queen Mary, it has seen so many lives and so much energy and so many people. There's got to be some sort of footprint that somehow our universe remembers. I think of it something like that. And that's why maybe I feel like I see this cat energy passing through. And then I talk to people around town and they're like, yeah, there used to be tons of cats that live there. And I didn't know any of that. But then, you know, you hear it and you're like, wow, that makes sense. But, you know, it's tricky because I think there's so much in our world and in our universe that we just can't wrap our minds around and we just can't understand because it's just too much. It's too much for our brains to handle.
I agree, that's true.
Yeah, right. And so it's hard because I totally like agree with both of you. I even living here, I'm like, do I believe in ghosts, like spooky ghosts? Like, I don't know, maybe. I'm not afraid of them though. Like, at least in my house, I feel like if I feel any of this energy or see anything, I'm not afraid. And my friends and my family, they can't believe it. I have a terrifying basement, and when I say terrifying, it's very scary. And it's like 2,000 square feet, and there are these giant wooden doors that go into the heaters. Like,
sleep over in your basement.
Oh, it would be the end of most people's, like, I don't think some people could sleep down there, but I go in there when it's like, I go down there at midnight and I go and grab whatever I need, and I'm down there with no light, and I feel so comfortable in my home because I feel like my spirits that live here have accepted me, and they're like okay with me being here, and they know that I'm not a harmful person, like I'm not bad energy. So I think that I have settled into the home, and they kind of like are okay with Michael and I and the kids for the most part. I think a lot of the bad energy we experience here usually happens when we're doing heavy construction or like tearing something apart, or you know, like having lots of noise happen from the roof project. We had a lot of weird stuff going on then, and I think there's just disturbance. And for the most part in our house, you know, we're fairly quiet and we don't really disturb the energy here, so we don't experience much turbulence, I'd say. So
okay, I can tell you, I can accept that you believe that, and I can't like negate that it's true, but I'm skeptical, right. Definitely skeptical. Like, I think that like most houses have had deaths in them, like a lot of houses have had morbid deaths happen in them, because it's just statistically just statistically true, you know?
Yep.
But I do believe that there are trolls that live under my house, and they come out and they like move stuff that I'm looking for, and then like I look all over for it, right? And like they sometimes are in my car, because I was looking for this hot sauce in my car. I knew it was in my car. Even someone came and helped me look for it in my car, and then the next morning it was sitting on my seat. Like, dumb trolls.
That's great.
So I can tell you though, this is spooky, but I do believe that the world is weird, and I still don't believe in ghosts, but this is ironic, right? So I come in, and because I was at my friend's house earlier doing she did her first League of Fire challenge with me, my friend Jenny. She did the unbearable one with me. So then I was hanging out with you guys. So I come in, and no one's home, and I come upstairs, and I'm like setting up and like getting the things I need to hang out with you guys, you know? And I hear a lightsaber, right? Like, I hear a lightsaber, and I love Star Wars, and I love Disney villains. I love all kinds of other things, but just, I don't know. This isn't pertinent though. So I have a lightsaber, right? But I'm like, there's no way my lightsaber could have gone off. Like, it's in its like case, and I'm like, is my little one somewhere? Do my chopsticks do my lightsaber chopsticks make noise? So I like I go downstairs, and like I have like a legitimate lightsaber like that I built myself at Disneyland, right? So I go downstairs, and it's like you can't just like turn this on, watch. Like, you have to actually like switch a switch. So I like go downstairs, or like I'm just like following the sound, trying to figure out what it is, and it's in the case on, and I'm like, oh my gosh.
That's weird.
And I'm like, the baby caused this.
That's weird.
I have paranormal baby toys, but I just, you know, I'm like, I don't even care anymore. I like, it'll be I'll be watching a movie or something. It's 10 o'clock at night, and then suddenly like 3 of them go off, and I'm like, wow, that's really scary because nobody's touching them. But just ignore it.
I
That's
don't know. I think it was just an ironic occurrence.
Yeah, it's fun that happened to you right before this video.
Mhm.
Yeah, so like I said, I'm blaming you guys.
Yeah.
So, so like I
But
said,
it's fun that it happened. Like, it's irrelevant. I still don't believe in ghosts. Like, I don't know what the explanation is, but the world is weird.
that's funny. Maybe it was you. Maybe it was poltergeist energy because you were anxious about talking about ghosts.
Oh, yes.
I was not anxious, though. It might have just been me and my telekinetic powers.
Maybe.
Yeah,
real.
that's a better movie.
So funny story about us moving into our home. And again, I'll preface this with the fact that I haven't had a supernatural experience, at least not that I'm aware of. But when we moved into this house at like 2 a.m, like consistently, I kept hearing something that sounded like somebody was knocking on the door. And so I thought for sure that our home was haunted. It turned out I just never had a refrigerator with an ice maker. And then following that, I started hearing like really strange sounds at night, like a couple months into living here. And it turned out I had brought in a potted plant that needed to like winter inside. And there was a frog in the potted plant.
Oh.
And it just kept talking.
Okay. Oh, I have a similar story when my little sister, she's way littler than me, right? She kept telling us like, there's an alien under my bed. There's an alien under my bed. And I'm like, oh, okay, there's an alien under your bed. And my brother had hamsters, and he had one get away.
Oh,
and
no.
This hamster, like, no one saw it, but this hamster was going back and forth under her bed to get bedding, and had built itself a home in between her bed and the wall.
That's funny.
So there was an alien under her bed.
Poor thing. Yeah, there was.
That's so funny. All right. I think I had one more question I wanted to ask you, Alexandria. So I was looking at the website. So we talked about Herzog, but I wanted to hear a little bit, because I imagine you're an expert on this, about the subsequential families that lived there.
Sure.
And yeah, go ahead.
You know, how much to begin? How much? What exactly do you want to know? Some of it's hard for me to talk about because I like. It's almost like some of these people have abused the house. I know a lot about them, and I don't even know if I should say their name. Maybe I should just kind of reference the different eras of the house.
Yeah, that'll work.
There are good people who've done great things for this house too. So yeah, and so I'll say just prior to me owning the house, there was a woman. Her first name was Maud, and she owned the house and lived in Connecticut. And so she was not on site, and she had a woman living here whom did not care for the house at all. Her literal job was to be the caretaker and to take care of the bed and breakfast that was being run here. It is my belief she was given like 10% ownership in the bed and breakfast business, and that was her payment. She lived here rent-free, so she treated the house at the time like it was a rent-free situation, and just really was doing the bare minimum to keep things clean. And when I first saw the house, I really couldn't believe that it was being run as a bed and breakfast, because I thought, like, I don't really understand who's paying so much money to stay here frequently enough for them to keep the lights on. It was rough. So that was the past owner. And she didn't care about the house because her husband was madly in love with it, and he passed away. So I think she resented it, and then moved to Connecticut. And she was also a teacher. She was a professor at a college in Connecticut, but she couldn't have cared to less about the house. Actually, there was another person who was interested in purchasing it at the same time we were. And his idea was he was going to rip out all the original staircases. He was going to rip out all the original windows and put like energy efficient windows in the house. And he was going to turn it back into some revamped bed and breakfast too. And the community would have really hated that. It's such a shame to even think about it, but we ended up purchasing it instead, so that never came to fruition. Okay, and then before
I'm
them,
glad.
before them, before her owning it, it was a good couple. Richard Pankow is the gentleman's name, and I cannot remember his wife's name. It might have been Diane Pankow, but the Pankows, that was their last name. They did a lot of really good things for this house. They repointed I think all the sides of the house, and repointing is where you remove the mortar, put the mortar back in the brick, and it shores up everything because it has to be done every so many decades, especially on sides where the sun hits or the elements hit the house really hard. But that was, that's a foundational, very expensive thing that had to be done in order for the house to remain standing. So they really had the house's best interest in mind. I do believe that they ran it as a bed and breakfast as well, but they did it with a lot of love, and I think they cared about the integrity of the house. And then before them gets a little gray area and foggy for me. Michael gets really detailed with these accounts. I think there was a lot of changing of hands at that point. This is past the 80s, so we're talking like 40s, 50s, 60s, and there was a lot of hands. The house has changed hands a lot. I know there was an older lady that people thought was creepy that lived in the house at one point, and people talk about her during Halloween. She used to sit at the very end of the historic front sidewalk and hand out candy, and she would look out the windows, and I know what they're talking about, because when you look out the windows of the second or third story of the house, it looks really creepy to see someone peering out the window. You can imagine like a little old hat.
That's fun. I would like do that when I was bored. When I'm bored,
I do.
Hello,
Halloween,
children.
Yeah, Annie, I do. So at Halloween time, I'll turn on strobe lights and I like get in the windows. I'm not crazy. Yeah, I scare the hell out of people.
That sounds so fun.
Michael does it too. We'll run around the house with a glass of wine and like scare people that are driving by, because we have gawkers that come by the house every day. Like probably I've seen 4 people at least come by the house. They stand in our yard.
What are they, gawkers or admirers?
Yeah, well, both. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So anyways, so there was the old lady. Then before her time, even more in like I think this was during the Great Depression area. That's when the house saw some really sad times. I know that the fireplace behind me, oh gosh, I hope I'm not saying this wrong. I don't even know. Michael and I, for the longest time, thought that this was historic to the house. I think it may be this one, but we have several. That's right. Okay, the one behind me is the one remaining that is historic, and it's marble. But we have 1, 2, 3, 4 other areas where historic marble, beautiful fireplaces were stripped. We have these chandeliers in the house that are brass, and they're nice, but I don't by any means think that they are, from the 1800s. They're not that historic. I think all that.
Have you been able to find any pictures or paintings from then?
So very, very unfortunate. We do find some. They're all exterior. Our house is so bizarre because usually houses that look like mine or that are as prominent as mine in the community are heavily photographed. There's lots of parties that go on here.
Right.
There's lots of newspaper articles written up about things. It's sort of an unanswered question for Michael and I. We can't find certain information about the house, and we're doing our best to piece things together. But things like the chandeliers, you can tell they're not historically accurate, and you can only imagine what was there. I would imagine, something extremely grand, probably cast iron, and heavy and gothic, and something kind of scary was probably there. But
with real diamonds.
It was all very expensive. And our historic fence, our cast iron fence, we have a part of it that's still remaining in the front, but the whole side and the back part of the yard, that was all stripped during the Great Depression. So there's things that are missing from that era because people were desperate to make money and to survive and keep their bills paid or to just eat. So Anyways, before that would probably just be the Herzogs, and them remaining in the house. Let's see, because they built the house in 1886, and I think they remained here. There might have been one change of hands, and then you would hit the Great Depression era, but I'm not sure who the second family would be. We do have it's amazing. We went to our historic office. We have a historic like library of events for Herman because it's a historic town, and there's a handwritten list of every time that the house has changed hands and to who, and it's like handwritten. It's been copied many times, but I have that somewhere, and I wish I would have brought it and been prepared to read it to you. But that's pretty much the history of the house. So not as many owners as you might imagine during that time, time frame, but a lot of people coming through here because of the use of the house, being that it was a bed and breakfast.
I find your passion for your house so endearing.
Oh, thank you. A lot of people think I'm like on HGTV or something. And I'm like, maybe one day. I get that question a lot from people I meet, but I get featured on old house websites. We found our house on an old house website, and yeah, we are very, like I said, very passionate about our house. It's our life.
So I've been doing some research while we've been talking. So is the herzogmansion.com, that's your website?
Yeah, Michael cares for that, and I do some of the writing for it as well.
I'm going to put that in the chat in case people want to check that out.
Is there anyone in the chat that's had anything to say about anything that was presented?
Yeah,
that's a good question, Annie.
Did you guys eat all your chips? I did.
I have a few left.
I have like a couple in the bottom.
I'll confess mine are old, so they taste a little weird, and I keep like choking on them. I don't know what's wrong with me today.
We don't want you to choke.
No.
Yeah, don't do that. Let's see, lot.
Maybe they're haunted.
Maybe
they are.
Katie's haunted ghost chips are haunted.
They're trying to kill me.
Yeah, I don't see an expiration.
They're haunted by poltergeists.
Yeah, does mine? They might have a Best By date. I don't know, but I do know they're old. Oh yeah, that's embarrassing. But I am a garbage monster. The Best By date on my bag is April 6, 2020.
Oh, so you've had them a little while.
No,
my neighbor did a challenge obviously forever ago where like he ate a bunch of bags of these at work because it was like the hottest thing his coworkers had ever seen, and so he gave them to me, and so I just have all these bags of these chips.
Oh, he gave you like the extra ones?
Yeah, he gave me like 20 bags of chips.
Oh, when I end up with extra stuff, I split it and give half of it to Steve Sarman, or I send it to Jaws. Jason, my sister sent. Oh, I hope she's not okay. My sister, she's not watching this. My sister sends me like random things, and I don't know what to do with them. Like, and it's always several of the same things, so I send them to Jason.
Oh, nice.
And when people think like all spicy things come to Annie, of course, right? But like, what are you gonna do with 10 bags of haunted ghost pepper chips? Like,
exactly. Well, that's why I've had these forever. And so when we decided we were going to do these chips, I was like, I'm not going to buy new ones. I'll just eat these. But I think my chips,
had them.
I think my chips might have been a little bit of a challenge for me today.
I think that they were. Katie's haunted expired ghost chips.
All right, my friend. Well, we are my friends. We are coming up on an hour. So I know you have wonderful things you want to do with the rest of your day. Alexandria, thank you so much for joining.
I'm going to drink wine. Thank you so much.
Go for it. Yes. Annie knows this, but we can drink alcohol on my channel. We can curse. You can just be comfortable. Alexandria, thank you so much for joining today. It was awesome getting to like meet you kind of virtually face to face and hear about your home. I'm fascinated. I'm going to read all through this website. Annie, pleasure as always. Much love to
I
you.
so enjoyed being with both of you.
Yeah, thank
Absolutely.
you both for inviting me. I had so much fun, and I really enjoyed these Pocky chips too. It was nice.
You had good
It was
ones.
nice to sit in here alone and just talk.
Yeah.
Usually
Right? I think that we
need
need
to
to, like, I have ideas for like future events that are just silly. Like I have a couple games that are like spicy games, but like we were doing like the little game we were playing, Katie.
Would you rather?
Yeah, would you rather? I was gonna call it this or that, but the same thing.
Yeah, good.
So like you don't always have to be intense. Like I don't know. I believe in balance.
I know. I believe in balance too. That's why I'm here, because I need some time to just.
Yay, we're so happy. And it was really, really awesome to hear all about your house. I really enjoyed it. I want to come visit. I want to come sleep in your basement.
No, you know what? Listen, that is something I didn't get to mention is one of our long-term goals for this house is, I think it used to be ran as a bed and breakfast, and I think it's a great place to have family and friends come and stay, because where we live in Herman, it is such an incredible tourist destination where you go. I have 27 wineries around my house.
That's
and,
awesome.
Distilleries and breweries, and there's just so many fun things to do, like drink. No, I'm kidding. But there's like
hence why you're drinking wine. There are a million wineries around you.
So funny. This is Stonehill wine. This is the main.
Oh, you're on brand.
Yeah, and it's literally a Stonehill glass. But anyways, we have so many things to do here, and finding lodging is so hard. Most of our town is comprised of bed and breakfasts and guest houses, but I love the thought of just having friends and family that they can just come stay on our third floor. We have 4 bedrooms, 4 baths up there, and it's currently Michael uses one of them for an office right now, but it's unused. Like we don't have any. We just need to renovate it. It's all kind of like 80s stuff, and once we get around to that, then we can just start having fun bringing people out for Oktoberfest. So we've done it a few times, but yeah, for sure. I mean, you say you want to visit my house, but I'm like, don't, if you're serious, I seriously will have people out. So
nice.
No, I am serious. I do I don't say things unless I'm serious. Like I mean it.
Yeah,
I really love to see your house. You would too, right, Katie?
Absolutely. I don't think I'd have a reason to go to Herman other than to see Alexandria's house, but I definitely would. It sounds amazing. And like I said,
maybe way exciting things to do, I bet.
Maybe I would actually have a supernatural encounter.
Yeah, you could perhaps.
Maybe.
Who knows?
Maybe. All right. Well, thank you so much, ladies.
Yes.
With that, I am Katie Priedeman, the world's okayest competitive eater, and I hope that everybody has a wonderful day.
Bye, everyone.
Keep the fire in your heart.